Sorted yet?
Almost.
Almost.
So much stuff to organise.
Here we are, the vastness of Fjordland.
It's pretty intimidating country, isn't it? Not to mention these hungry sandflies. They are tenacious.
They are, right?
Yeah.
And you don't mind looking like a bit of a knob, as long as you're not getting eaten.
Yeah, exactly. So we're down at the Narrows, and we got dropped off really nice and early. We've just stashed a tub of extra supplies in the bush near a potential campsite for later in the trip. And today's plan is just to punch up into the primary valley of the Narrows, and we're going to get to just below some clearings. Are they Anderson's clearings or something you were saying?
Latrells, I think.
Latrells. And if the weather holds off, because there's supposed to be a bit of a bomb moving in tomorrow, if the weather holds off, we'll try and have a wee stalk on the clearings tonight. But if it's already pretty rubbish by the time we get to where we want to set up our base camp, then we won't. Obviously, we'll just hunker down and chill out for the evening. It's making a start.
Some of this going's not too bad so far. Got a couple of animal tracks. Burns bloody high though.
Maybe you could have gone around the log easily.
The pack's full of tucker by the way you stood up then.
There's plenty in there.
We're all good going at the moment, just sidling around, gained the height we needed to. Now we can just follow these sort of trails. There's a few deer trails, some of them are awesome, but then they don't last for long and you're back in the average stuff. But definitely some great type 2 fun to be had up here so far. Whoever put the trail markers in for us, thanks very much, really appreciate it. Great wee trail here through the narrow section.
Beautiful little spot to stop for a drink. And Mark checking the barometer. And down below us you can hear a big waterfall. That's the reason why you don't walk up the guts of the Narrows. And you have to go up high on the true right. So we just found a cool little camp spot. Somebody else thought it was a good camp spot too. These two poor old buggers both have cramp.
I just haven't sat back down. This is quite comfy.
Yeah, just stay like that all night, mate.
Yep.
You'll be good as.
On the good stuff, on the thirst.
Good electrolytes.
That's what plants crave.
Rain stopped, so we decided to come out for a wee walk and see if much has come out in the clearings. Some good vegetation up the side of the waterfall, but I don't know if you can see it from there, but it is super steep.
Terrible footage, sorry guys, but that's a cow. Cow Wapiti up in front of me. Just looking this way. I think she heard me cross the creek. Where'd you go? Okay, that's pretty funny. It's not actually a cow at all, it's just a very convincing flax. Sorry about that. False hope. Alright, it's the morning of day 3. We had a real slow morning this morning. Just took it easy, packed up our bags, and now we're going to head up valley. We had a wee scout on day 2 up to Latrell's clearing, and the boys saw a spiker or a cow. They weren't 100% sure, it just moved off pretty fast. But the funny thing about that was I was in the front and I'd just turned around to tell them that I could smell something, and while I was telling them that, they saw it, and by the time I turned around it was gone.
Just stopped here for a quick break. Just waiting for a record bull to come walking out onto this flat here. But there's not a lot of sign. Failing he doesn't come out, we will continue on up the stream there. Climb into the tops. Just seen a bull come out right in front of us. It's big. It's just that sign. There it is. Oh, you might not see him.
So set the scene for us, Graham. What just happened?
Well, I thought we were going to have a conversation with both of us in the phone. We were just about to get up from our wee break here, and a Wapiti bull came wandering down the stream and up, and I actually thought he was going to come right out onto the edge of the clearing here, but he's just cut back into the bush a wee bit. Managed to get a wee bit of him on video, but awesome to see. Awesome coloration, body size, massive, antlers, definitely a young one. Definitely knew straight away to leave him, but mean to see him down here on the valley floor.
Good spotting, well done.
That's right. Yeah. So the trick with walking up hills with Blake is to stay far enough behind him that he thinks. I can't remember what I was going to say. So the trick to walking up hills is to stay far enough behind Blake that he thinks you're lagging, but actually you're just going comfortably at your own pace, and every now and then he'll wait for you for a rest. It works.
Can't quite begin to describe to you guys just how bloody steep that is. Just for reference, I'll point the camera flat for you. Yeah, I'd say that's about flat. So that is way, way, way up. Isn't that beautiful? Oh well, we're sidling around the side of a gully at the minute. It's a real grind, headed up to the tarn. We're just doing our best to follow these animal tracks where we can. Hopefully we'll get to the top in the not too distant future.
It's been a fucking hard slog from the valley floor. Some steep stuff, some steeper than steep stuff. But now we get to reap the rewards.
We've woken up to a stunning bluebird day up on the tops. Not the very tops. Those are the very tops, way up there. She was cold last night. Got a nice wee frost on the tent. Frozen solid. Maybe leaving the gators to try and dry wasn't such a good idea. It turned into frozen sheets of cardboard. So I don't think I'm going to put my gators on first thing this morning.
Morning of day 4. What a stunning, stunning day.
One of those drying out days you hear everyone talk about on their videos. Blake's just having his coffee, but all our stuff is just drying out. Beautiful day for it. Blake spotted a Wapiti spiker over on the other side of the clearing there. Well, it's not on the other side of the clearing, is it?
Other side of the
Spotted a Wapiti spiker on the other side of the valley.
Relative to the other one, where is it?
Do I dare to zoom in?
Still not as impressive as your bull yesterday though, Graham.
It's not, but he's not actually a spiker, he's actually a bull, this one.
Is he?
Yep, it's got a couple points at least. Might have to have a look back over the phone later and check it out. It's got at least 2 on top there, I can see. It's slightly better now, though there's a wee bit of haze.
How's he look?
Oh, I think he's a 6.
Oh, cool.
He's still little. But he's a lot bigger than we thought he was.
Sorry, I'm a thorough believer in lucky dip.
Oh, yeah, that means you're giving us malt ones, doesn't it? Yeah, thought as much. Malt.
Do you not like a malt? Here you go.
I got coconut.
What's that one?
Coconut.
Oh yeah, swap you for a malt.
There you go.
Thanks. I'm a firm believer in not lucky dip.
It's nice to branch out from foot this.
Blake's just spotted a bull on the other side of the valley, and it's turned into 3, a bull and a couple cows. You can have a look, Blake. He's interesting. He's definitely not a shooter or anything, but come have a look on the spotter. It's interesting. We had a really frosty morning this morning and we haven't heard any bugles, but there's obviously still a bull hanging out with some cows.
Problem is, how do you get to them? Get in range of them.
Oh, it'd be hard. It'd be hard work. But he's up in the valley where you and Graham were thinking of going.
Well, Graham was.
Oh, he turned his head, but I wasn't watching.
Options in that valley.
Oh, he's got a couple points. Might be an 8. Okay, so it turns out that they've just started coming out with the sun. He is big bodied, but he's small. Come have a look.
His head small.
Yeah, tiny.
What?
Big body though, compared to those other ones.
Is he just a spiker?
No, he's got some points.
Oh, sorry, it's just hard to...
So we had been sitting here for ages watching a young bull and a cow and nothing else, and all of a sudden now the sun's flipped to the other side of the valley. Now it's on the eastern side, everything's standing up.
Just enjoying the warmth apparently, eh? How's he look at that high magnification?
Still big body, small top.
So the other one is better.
Still hasn't done anything.
No, it's just he's lying down, you can just see his head. But he could be the deer of the day.
Has he got antlers?
He does.
Big antlers?
No.
For the show, Mr.
Rolling.
Interesting old day, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we seem to do pretty well today. We climbed just up from the time where we stayed at last night to a nice wee knoll just over the hill. and from there we saw nothing at first. The first thing this morning was actually quite discouraging. Came back, had some breakfast, and then decided to go back to exactly the same place again to have a wee look for the day, and then we started picking them up.
Yeah, once you see one, they stood out easy when they stood up. But when they were lying down, they were hard to see.
It was quite funny because we hadn't seen anything for our morning glassing session, and then I ended up seeing one from camp just across the way, just a cow. But geez, when you get your eye in on that nice creamy coat, they are beautiful, and they do stand out, especially when they're moving. But when they're sitting down or still, you can quite easily go over them. So spent maybe 5 hours on the glass today, maybe a bit more. Actually, it was more. It was a lot more because we've only just really stopped. So 6 or 7 hours.
When he means on the glass, he means binoculars.
Yeah. Slightly funny story to tell you about Graham carried in his big, perfect, good for the job tripod. Bar one crucial piece. So that's on me. I feel pretty guilty about that. Luckily, Mark behind the camera saved the day with his mini tripod. So we were still able to use the spotting scope to a degree.
Looked out all right in the end.
Tell us about the bulls.
One left, one right. And pan away.
Pan away.
It's the morning of day 5. Last night was quite windy and a little bit of rain. It's quite claggy and grey and gloomy this morning. Hopefully that burns off. Still a stunning place to be. And as always, Pride Rock looks good. I think the plan for today is to climb up some of this stuff and get up to the ridgeline and then look down into the head basin.
Just at camp having a second coffee, and these guys turned up above it.
Right up near the ridge now.
How big do you think that bull is?
Small.
Sorry about the shakiness, this is all handheld through the spotting scope. Hey Blake, let out a roar. Quickly now. No, I didn't hear you. Ready? The bull's there. We'll be able to hear you. What an absolutely awesome spot. just come up the ridge from camp, which is down over the edge there somewhere, and seeing what we can see. So looking around here, I think we've got the lower Glasnock faces here, maybe the Lugaburn in the distance. Just over the ridge from us, for most of our boundary, here's the Billyburn, and on the top side up there is the Worsley.
I think this is as far as our Top's mission can take us. Absolutely beautiful, stunning spot. Not getting up over those bluffs easily. Sitting on a wee tiny razorback. There's Mark back there. Graham is back on that ridge back there.
Have a look around, except for the wind, it looks like I've been having a beautiful warm day sitting here in the sun. Until you have a look just over the ridge here, and you note that everything's still frozen. And probably starting to refreeze. It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not even.
Haven't seen anything at all up the head of the valley up here, but I'm just about to give it another once over with the glass.
Look at the breath coming off these workhorses.
Cool wee mission today. We pushed up from base camp, just back down behind us. Gained how much height, Mark?
600 metres.
600, and then checked out a couple basins just beside us. It was quite cool. First thing this morning, 5 elk came zooming past us, way above our camp. And we got a little bit of a look at them from camp, but I suspect they're probably the only ones living in the next basin at least. But just didn't see much of anything today. I think they don't like the wind very much, and there's a cold wind blowing. Anything to add, Graham?
No, agree.
It's a really promising young bull, eh?
Majestic.
The solo
Yeah.
one or the one on the right?
Yeah, that solo one.
Solo one, yeah. I just love how his trays are actually wider than his main beams.
He's on a mission, isn't he?
Yeah, trying to catch up to his girls, I think.
So, the bottom one's a spiker, the top one's a young bull.
There's 2 at the bottom.
Yeah, so the bottom left one, sorry, is a spiker,
Oh, yeah.
and the bottom right one is a, I don't know, a year or 2 older.
The one that's disappeared.
Yep, and he's thrashing a bush. I can just see his antlers, and then the bush will go thrashing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's running.
So that's the spiker that's above him now.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully the spiker travels upwards and he follows him, just so we can look at him again. That one over to the left in 3 or 4 years might be quite an interesting animal, eh? But that's the trouble, is everything we've seen still needs that 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like we haven't seen a single one in that in-between stage.
No, that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think 6 is
get you
the
excited.
Yes, 6 is the new 8. Yeah, exactly. Not for us, but yeah, maybe for others.
Okay, well he's just thrashing the bush.
what we're going to do today is make our way down this gorge.
And down here. Through some of this. And down through here. Back through some of everybody's favourite. Although we're back in the bush and the going's really good at about, I don't know, maybe 40 degrees, 45 in some spots, it's pretty steep. There's still elements of certain death. Blake over there's run out of coffee. He's just about run out of food. But what he does have, there's plenty of toothpaste left.
Graham just having a drink. Mark chilling out enjoying the view.
Well, today is walkout day. We had a good day yesterday coming down off the tops, and then bumped a cow on the way back down the valley, had a cruisy night and had a cruisy morning and time to head out.
I suppose perfect situation is obviously to find that big bull on the way out, but if we do find a good meat animal, I think we're pretty keen at this stage. So if we find a cow, preferably a yearling cow, then they might be in a bit of trouble, but we'll see what we can find.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Treats back at base camp. That's real good.
He's a perfect eater.
A terrible fish, you'd be a pound.
And a half?
Yeah, maybe even. What's his buddy? Oh, he's small. Swimming away too. Fish number 2 for Graham. Good job.
Can't catch a wapiti, may as well catch a fish.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Oh, there's another one over there. What's he doing over there? This looks like the same bloody fish, Mark. Just wait there, mate. I'll be with you in a second. Just wait there. Yep, good. Stay there. Good boy.
Hurry up, would you, Graham? I want to
Yeah,
start
we've only
fishing
got
too.
5 minutes before, look, 5 minutes before it rains. Better pull this bugger in.
What Graham was talking about. Sorry about the fast pan.
Oh, he's a nice
It's all this rain coming in.
nice run trout.
Good job. Well done.
There's your work. Another harsh night out in the Fjordland rain. Sandflies on the roof. Woken up to a beautiful day in the last morning. Getting the boat out today. So just going to pack up, have a brew, wait for the boat.
So that's the end of the trip. Yeah, it was a really, really good time. We saw quite a few wapiti, which was really, really cool. They just look so blimmin' beautiful up on the tops in their natural habitat, just cruising around. But unfortunately, we just didn't see anything of any age. And one thing that struck me as pretty crazy is we didn't even see any that were questionable, any that were even close. So yeah, I'd be surprised if we saw anything more than 4.5 years old.
Yeah, everything needed a few more years, so we don't need anything that's subpar age, do we? So, no, just enjoyed watching them.
We did see some nice young bulls, so that's good.
What's the count?
What's that?
How many?
How many? Not many. Not many. Not many.
19, I hear.
Oh yeah, but we don't do counts.
Yeah.